Hi, Mara community. Oh my goodness, what is the world at? I'm kind of lost in words right now, but I really miss you all. And yeah, I just found after the first video that I did, um, I'll just try and continue with some of these videos, especially for you ladies and gentlemen now that would like to continue with some home practice. And I'd also wanted to let you know it's really nice to have a little space of your own, like I have here. It doesn't need to be all this stuff at all. It can be a little stool with a nice picture on it, or a candle, or something that you feel is really special to you. And just create this little tiny space where you can fit a yoga mat and where you can have your practice, so that when you come there it's like this sanctuary where you can feel you can go to um, get some positive energy, even if it's just for a 5 minute meditation or a moment to just sit and recenter yourself. Really important, especially in this time we're in. So I'm here today to do a little sequence. It's not going to be a very long one, just a short one, so that you can just grab it out when you feel like it. Maybe a short one in the morning. So it's going to be a very gentle one. Okay. Okay. We'll start in a seat actually first. Now, when we're in a seat, I like to use these flat blocks, as you know. Again, I know some of you might have wanted something. If there's anything you'd really like for your home practice right now, please just email me and I can still order whatever you need. Okay, so I like to sit on the edge of these flat blocks. It makes it a little easier for my hips, and that way I can still sit upright. So let's come into a cross-legged seat. If cross-legged seat doesn't work for you, just go onto your knees or into whatever way you'd like to sit for now. I'm just going to take a moment to arrive. Hands on your knees, close your eyes. And just start arriving on your mat. And just know wherever you're at, all the feelings, we're all in this together. We're connected. And I see a strong connection even when we're practicing on our own. We can take a moment to connect with one another and try and send whatever energy we're creating in our practice to each other. And not only to each other, to the ones we love and know, but also to the world around us. If any of you have, like me, lately gone grocery shopping in Salmon Arm, you might know what I'm talking about when you come home and you're completely depleted. And there's just this energy of fear and almost uncertain, panicky of energy around us. And when you come home, it's just drained you completely. So when we come to our mat, just try and feel all that. Be present with that. And very consciously, connect with that feeling and allow it to release. You're in your sanctuary. You're in your space to create positivity. And come to that setting in yourself. Because we can only help ourselves and the others by recreating this energy that's flowing. Notice how you're breathing. Notice whether there's tension or blockages in your breath. See if you can gently release them as well. Just softening, just let that flow. The one thing we'll always have to continue our life force is this breath. If we just continue to focus on our inhale and exhale. Place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And just continue to breathe. Continue to feel that flow. The inhale, the whole front body expanding. And then on your exhale, just feel it all sink in. So one more inhale and exhale. Next time you inhale, bring the arms up above you. Keeping your eyes still closed, just reaching tall, reach long. And then exhale, bring the arms back down. And flicker the eyes open. Okay, if you're using a prop, let's remove that block. And then turn to the side so you can come down onto your mat. You're just coming out of this cross-legged seat, rolling your way down. And just taking your feet as wide as the mat. Letting the knees drop against each other and open your arms. Open into cactus arms, feeling those shoulder blades anchor into your mat. And just notice how you feel. Notice whether you can really ground down through your spine or whether you feel you're lifted. And just start to soften that back. Soften especially into your sacrum area, your hips, your pelvis, and just sink in. And then start breathing a little more in through your heart. So really expanding that chest as you inhale and exhaling, just letting it sink. Inhale to open. Exhale to release. One more. And then let's release our hips a little into some windshield wipers. So just dropping the knees from one side over to the other. And then slowly coming back through center. And then bringing your knees in over your chest, placing your hands on your knees. Rocking from side to side here on your lower back. Tiny movements, bigger movements, noticing your spine, giving it like a good massage. And then start opening your legs, big circles. Feeling into your hips, circling the other direction. And then bring the knees back in. Let's wrap our arms a little more around our legs, really feeling into your whole body as you do so, squeezing yourself. And then slowly start lifting your head up towards the knees, activating your core, tucking in those ribs, belly button towards your spine, holding it there. Try and release the tension out of your shoulders, still holding it up there. And then gently release. As you're releasing back onto your back, open your knees wide to your armpits and let's find happy baby pose. So feet come above your knees. Now maybe you won't reach for the soles of your feet, then just hold your ankles or even behind your knees is fine. If you can reach the feet, it's better to go through the inside of your legs and then hold the outer edge of your feet. And then draw those feet down. Anchor back down through your lower back, so we don't want to be lifted up here. Roll back down and just let yourself sink into happy baby. See where you can soften in your inner thighs or your hips to just allow this opening to happen. And then slowly be a bit more playful. Rock from one side to the other, stretching a bit into one leg, coming back in over to the other side, just like a baby wiggling around, discovering the feet. And also play with your feet, your toes, squeeze them. Notice the temperature of your feet. Separate each toe, give them a little stretch. And then release your hands a little further down and start circling your feet. We're going to check in with our ankles here today. And then slowly release the feet back in. And let's come into a reclined twist before we go any further. Arms spread out, palms face down. Slowly drop the knees over to the right side. Anchoring both arms still, and slowly turn your head to the left side, so the opposite from your knees. Just coming into that first good twist. Next, inhale, slowly find your way back to center. And drop the knees to the other side. And gaze to your right hand. Inhale slowly back to center. And now holding the right knee in towards you, clasp the hands over the right knee. Slowly stretch out the left leg, opening up that hip flexor, lengthening that whole left side. Breathe. Let the weight sink onto your mat. And from here, we're going to try to bring our right foot over into a half happy baby. So just with your right foot. Bring that gently back in, bending that leg. And then stretch the right leg up, holding the back of your right thigh. And maybe you need to have that bent, that's totally fine. Or maybe your leg is somewhere here, also fine. Soften into it. It's our first hamstring stretch, so don't overdo this one. You can also bring this left knee in if you need to make it a little easier. And then slowly release this side. Bring the left knee in towards your chest. Slide away the right leg, opening this hip flexor. Gently allow the leg to go a little out, coming into the half happy baby. And then slowly bend that leg, bring it back in, and stretch the left leg up. Again, bring this knee in if it feels too much. Or slide it away. And then bend the left knee. Bring the right knee in as well. One more time, lift your forehead towards the knees. Holding it in, breathe. Gently drop the head down and allow your whole body to come over to one side to come up onto all fours. Tabletop. Let's spread out our fingers, really feeling the whole hand down. Knees are under your hips, and then just circle, checking in, moving all the way to child's pose, maybe all the way to an up dog, and just doing this in your own little way. Maybe you need slower movements, maybe you're ready for a down dog. Just flowing with your breath, really connecting your breath to the movements you're doing. And then we're slowly going to find our way back into tabletop, finding that alignment. And as soon as we're in this alignment, start activating your core. So even though we've got our joints stacked over each other, we don't want the belly to kind of flop in. We want to use those muscles. Hold yourself strong from here. And then we're going to walk our hands forward for a puppy pose to open up our chest and shoulders. Start sinking your head down, keeping your hips over your knees. And then sink down, really opening that front. Slowly walk the hands back in as you're inhaling. Widen your knees and exhale into your child's pose. Softening into your back. And as we've just opened our chest, for this one, bring your hands onto your lower back and just let the shoulders rest. For those of you that can't come down as easily, reach for a block or even a cushion or a blanket that you have nearby and tuck that underneath you. If you feel it's really hard to get down, it feels really nice to make like a cushion with a blanket and just come down like this. Slowly come out. This is a very hairy blanket, so yeah, maybe take something else. Slowly coming back into tabletop. And then let's do some cat-cows to really connect with our spine. So as you exhale, rounding your spine, tucking in that chin. Inhale to drop the belly, slowly lifting through your chin, opening your throat. Exhale to round up. And just go with your own rhythm. We'll do about 4 more rounds. Let that breath go deeper, really squeezing out all the air of your lungs as you exhale into cat. And taking as much air as you can on the inhale, opening that belly. Last one. And then find your neutral. Again, just sway side to side anytime that you just need to feel your own body wiggle around in your space. Now we're going to tuck our toes under and come into a toe stretch. So tuck all the toes, shift your weight onto your heels, and make sure that all those toes are underneath. And this might feel really tight, especially as winter's just over. We've been in shoes lots. So if you need to take some weight off, just shift the weight forward. Wherever you can go is fine. Just getting into those toes, feeling the whole stretch in your feet. Softening your breath. Remember, if you cannot breathe, you've gone too far. Allow yourself, give yourself that permission to come into an easier variation if you need to. Slowly with your inhale, release back forward onto your hands. Gently untuck the toes and start tapping the backs. Let's feel all the blood rush into all parts of your feet again. Perfect. Now we're gonna just sit back onto our heels into hero pose. And we're gonna breathe in, oops, that was my lamp. Inhale, reach tall. And then exhale, drop the right hand and inhale, lengthen. Oh, again here, if you can't sit like this, it's nice to tuck yourself up on either a block, so you're higher up, and then do the same here, or a blanket might be enough, or if you need to, just come into a cross-legged seat. So let's inhale, come back up, exhale over to the other side, lengthen the right side. Inhale back, both arms up, exhale down. Hands beside you, lift the knees slightly off the mat so we're stretching the front of our ankles and feet. Opposite from toe stretch. Inhale, come back forward. Exhale, let's come into our first down dog. Tuck those toes, lift your hips, feel it out. Bend a bit into your knees, lengthen the upper body, wiggle around so you find that lift, long, long, long back, long arms, pushing up into the air, and then you can start playing with pushing those heels further down. But notice, when I push my heels down, I'm kind of starting to round my back, so I prefer to just keep it there, keep the bend in my knees, keep it nice and long for this first one. And I'm going to inhale, shift forward into a little plank pose, and then exhale back to down dog. We're not going to do a lot of strengthening, so just bear with me for these few ones. Just a bit of core work. Inhale, hold, pull those shoulder blades back. Exhale, down dog. One more. Inhale, and exhale. Slowly drop the knees to the floor. Release the feet. We're going to step the left leg forward for a nice long step, finding our low lunge. So allow the knee, this back knee, maybe to shift a little back and start dropping the hips. Now as we come up, we want to still keep our tailbone straight down, so we're not dropping our belly. Tilting it a little bit forward to keep that length. And then reach the arms up. Beautiful. Breathe, open up, keep the length, and then exhale down. Anchor the right hand and let's twist to the left. Left arm up, look to the left. Exhale down. Tuck your back toes and let's step forward for a forward fold. Slowly allow the whole upper body to fold over your legs. I'm going to do a couple of half lifts here. So inhale to half lift, hands to your shins, lengthen. So if someone's pulling your head forward, exhale, fold down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale to lengthen. Keep that micro bend in your knees if you need to. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. And 1 more. Exhale, fold. Now we're going to go into the lunge on the other side. So step the left foot back, drop the left knee, and drop the hips towards your mat. Making sure this right knee always stays over your ankle, so we don't want it to come over your toes. Find your position, reach up for a low crescent lunge. Keep that length, keep your tailbone tucked down. Exhale down and twist. Inhale. Right arm goes up, belly towards the right thigh. Exhale down. Inhale to step forward. Exhale to fold. This time fold maybe a little deeper. Maybe bend a bit more into your knees to really bring the head down. Hold opposite elbows. And then release the hands down, bend even more into your knees and get ready to rise. Slowly for this first one, rolling vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up. Exhale down. Take a moment in Tadasana. So feet almost together, hands beside you, shoulders rolled back, nice and tall posture. And just feel your feet. Feel the power in your whole self, in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit. Just connect those three. Standing in full breathe. Notice where your mind wanders as soon as we stand in stillness. Without opening your eyes, allow the body to sway side to side, forward and back, really finding those roots through your feet. Preparing for some balancing here. Beautiful. Gently open your eyes. Stand to the top of your mat. And then we're gonna step the right foot back for a warrior one. So the back foot is slightly turned in, about 45-degree angle, and our hips are turned forward. Now start bending into this left knee, and again, if the left knee comes over your toes, you need to widen the stance. Anchor yourself into your feet, both feet are active. Inhale, reach the arms up. Gaze forward, gaze at a spot. And from here, we're gonna find warrior three. So we're slowly gonna come forward, just a little bit in. Maybe you're not ready to lift that back leg off yet. Just hold it there. Start tilting your upper body forward till you're parallel to the floor. And then maybe bring your hands either to the back or even to your hips, and then play with lifting the right foot up. And wherever you go is fine. Maybe you're just slightly off the floor. Maybe you're staying down here. Playing with your balance, using your core to help. Use your arms. Use every muscle in your back and core. Breathe. From here, slowly step back into that warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Now we're going to go through one flow to get to the other side. So inhale, exhale, we're going to fold down, lift the back heel up, step back to down dog. Exhale. Inhale to drop into plank. Exhale, come to your knees and come all the way down. Inhale to a little cobra. Exhale to push your hands into down dog. Take a full inhale and exhale. Look to the front of your mat. Walk all the way to meet your hands and then fold. Bend a bit into your knees. Inhale to rise. Exhale down. Same on the other side. Left foot back, warrior one. Hips turn forward. So this is a smaller stance than warrior two, where we stand really wide, just so you are aware. Bend into this right knee. Reach the arms forward. Hold it. Power into that back leg. Power into the front foot, holding you. Reach. Hold that rib cage down. And then gaze at something ahead, down on the floor. As we start tilting forward, bringing those hands beside you. Come onto your tiptoes. Bring it a little closer. And when you're ready, start lifting that back leg. Breathe, balance. Slowly shifting back into warrior one. Inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, fold down. Inhale to step back. And exhale into your down dog. Next, exhale, slowly come down into plank. Take another inhale. And then exhale, down you go. Maybe through a full push-up if you want to try. And maybe an up dog, or maybe you choose cobra. Exhale to down dog. Inhale. Exhale into a child's pose. Widen your knees, drop down. Feel the flow of blood. Maybe feel some heat in your body. And just breathe through that. Let it flow through your body. Allow the heat to rise. Allow the sweat drops to come. Inhale to slowly come up. And we're going to come down onto our bellies. Make a cushion with your hands and drop your forehead in onto your hands. And just take a moment to rest. Recenter. Find your breath. Keeping your hands where they are, we're now going to lift the right leg off the floor. Point into your toes, lift it off, feel the activation down into your glutes and your whole leg. Hold it there, breathe. And then exhale it. Inhale to lift the left leg. Exhale down. Now both hands beside your hips, palms facing down. And we're going to lift both legs up. Lift them up. Keep the legs up and now lift the arms up and start lifting your upper body off the floor. Hold it there, breathe. And exhale, release. Left ear down, turn the palms facing up. And let all the body parts sink into the floor. Slowly come back to center. We're going to do that one more time. Palms face down. Inhale, start lifting the legs. Lift the arms back. Lift your chest off. Hold it. Breathe. Maybe you're just down here. It doesn't matter where. Just start to hover over the floor. And then exhale, release. Right ear down. Palms face up. Turn the head back to center, bring the right heel in, reach with your right hand for the ankle, and start pulling the heel into your glutes. Gently release. Over to the other side, left hand reaches for the left ankle. Draw it in towards you. And then to release this side. Slide your arms up, elbows underneath your shoulders for a Sphinx pose. Make sure your elbows are directly under your shoulders, so they're not wide, not too narrow, nicely supporting your upper back. Remember to release any holding your glutes or your lower back. Just try and naturally come into this back bend. Keeping your heart opening, so keep yourself lifted. Slowly sink back down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Lift your way back up. This time keep your knees together and find a narrow-legged child's pose. So hands again behind you. You can reach for a block to let your head rest a little closer. And just let your back round again. So we're neutralizing from the poses we just did on our belly. Next inhale, slowly come back up. Just take a moment coming back up. And then we're going to come into some forward folds. Bring your legs in front of you. Let's start with one leg, the other leg into a half butterfly. So bring the foot in, turn this way. And then start reaching first, nice and tall. And then exhale, fold towards this left leg. Again, remember to stop as soon as you feel that first good stretch. And work into it while we're holding here. Breathe into it. Exhaling, allowing yourself to release more in. Not with pushing, more with surrendering. And then you're going to come halfway up to a nice lengthened position. You're going to place the left elbow to the inside of your leg or onto the leg, depending how far down you can come. And then we're going to inhale and open up to the side. Right arm reaches up. And exhale back down, all the way back down to come up straight. All the way up again. As we're up, switch sides of your legs. And exhale, fold. Halfway up, elbow to the inside of your leg, and inhale to reach the left arm, opening up the side. And then bring the arm back down. As you inhale, straighten yourself back up, and bring this right foot in to butterfly. And let's just find a seat here. So depending on how flexible you are, you might need to slide the feet further in front, more like into a diamond shape. That's okay. Just find a position that works for you. And you can hold onto your shins or your ankles. Roll the shoulders back, lengthen, and drop those knees towards the floor. Slowly open the eyes, bring the knees back in. We'll do one more pose here before we come down. And we're just going to do a little boat pose. So we're going to roll back slightly so we're still straight. Come onto your heels. See how that already activates your core. Find that position. And then maybe lift your feet off. Still holding your thighs. Next modification is your hands beside your knees, palms facing up. Maybe straighten one, bring it down, straighten the other. to lengthen both legs, straighten them, hold it, reach up, beautiful. Wherever you are, let's take 2 more breaths. You can do this. And then slowly come back onto your heels, lengthen, hands to your thighs, and roll your way down, vertebrae by vertebrae. You're going to bring your feet in so that they're flat down, and we're going to counter pose with a bridge pose. So hands beside your hips. Inhale to slowly lift your hips up. Let's go easy on this first one, just to really feel everything being stretched out. On your exhale, roll back down slowly. We're going to go up one more time. So just relax back down for a moment. Maybe even bring your knees in to release any tension. And then ready for the next one. Palms beside you. Inhale to lift. Tuck your shoulders under. Maybe hold opposite hands. Clasp your hands underneath. And start lifting a little more. Breathe. Slowly release the shoulders. Release the hands and start rolling your way back down. And we're going to come into reclined pigeon. So right ankle over onto the left knee. Reach through that gap in your legs. Hold onto the back side of your thigh and start drawing the left knee in towards you. Soften into your shoulders. Flex this right foot, keeping it nice and stable there. And use the elbow here to kind of push this right knee out. And then soften into the rest of your body. Your shoulders down, any tension out of your head, your jaw. And just slowly surrender into the pigeon. Really releasing the hip, feeling that tightness. And breathing right into it. One more deep inhale and deep exhale. As you release the hands, keep the right foot on there, and we're going to let this leg package drop right into a twist. So just drop it over to the left side slowly and spread out your arms and just turn to the right. Slowly bring the legs back in. Don't have to lift them back up into the air. Release the right foot. And just do some windshield wipers here. Beautiful. And then other side. So left ankle over onto the right knee. Reach through for your right thigh. Flex this left foot. Elbow pushes the left knee a little bit out. And find that position. Arrive there. Take a few breaths. And every breath, allow it to go a little deeper. Asking the body to surrender a bit more on every exhale. Feel your whole body beginning to wind down. Slowly begin to release the thigh, and then allow the legs to come over to the right side. Spread out your arms and maybe turn your head slightly to the left. Slowly turn your head back to look up and lift the feet back up to center, releasing, and just let's open our knees into butterfly here to end. Soles of your feet touch and your arms just spread out wide. Just taking a few nice good breaths here to release, arriving at the end of your practice. And then use your hands to bring the knees back in together. And give yourself a good hug here without lifting your head up, just holding your knees in, giving yourself a good squeeze. And then allow to arrive in Shavasana. So if you have a blanket or socks, just make yourself really comfortable, as we really don't want to skip Shavasana. So settle in, allow the legs to spread out, arms, if possible, palms face up. Take a couple of good deep breaths, and then allowing your eyes to close. Asking your body to surrender to being in Shavasana, to just being. There's no doing. There's no plan, nowhere to be, no schedule. You can just allow to drift off here. If you find it hard to stay, you get distracted with thoughts, just allow those thoughts to come and go. Like clouds in the sky. The one comes and it passes until the next one comes. Just this natural cycle, rather than trying to be without them. And you can stay here as long as you'd like. If you need to get on with something, you can slowly start feeling into your body, start wiggling your toes and fingers, taking deeper breaths. And then on one of the next inhales, reaching your arms behind you, reaching, giving yourself a nice good stretch. And then exhale to bring your knees in and over to the side. Just another moment here to come back completely. And then when you're ready, you can slowly come up into a seat. Bringing your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Arriving back into your day. Maybe with a new perspective. Maybe with new energy. Whatever it is, let's breathe it in, reaching up. And as you exhale, draw it all in towards your heart. Taking all this with you. And bowing to each other. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope we see each other soon.